It's time to start Dishin Days with your hosts Tony Moore, Michael Mattis, Justin Lee Harold, and Araceli Avalos. And now, let's dish.
Hey everyone, happy Sunday. We are here at Dishin Days, here to give you a full recap of Peacock's #1 award-winning soap opera, Days of Our Lives. And you can follow us on social media, Dishin Days Show on Facebook, at Dishin Days on Instagram, and Dishin Days on X and Threads. You can also do us a favor, subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you are on it right now, do us a favor, hit that like button, hit the subscribe, and also the notification bell so you are notified whenever we upload anything new, whether it's a new show or one of our segments or an interview or what have you. So yeah, go hit that like button and hit the notification bell. And if you are ever so inclined to join our exclusive members only page, there is a lot of fun content on there. Everything from interviews with your favorite stars in the studio to segments from myself and Araceli, Those Are the Days Extended, and Tia Says. And we also do a monthly either happy hour or after the dish where we come on and talk about the show with our members and just sit back and just have a gossip session and have some fun. So interested in joining that. We do have a lot of fun there. So yeah, think about joining our members only page, $4.99 for the month, for some really cool content. And if you are listening to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio, or you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio, take us along with us as you sort of go through your day or are sort of enjoying your hobbies there. And God, forget what I was going to say here. You can join our former co-host, James Lott Jr., at JLJ Media on YouTube. Everything from recaps of General Hospital, Bold and the Beautiful, Young and the Restless, Now Beyond the Gates, in addition to his original audio dramas and a ton of other things you can go check out. Go check out James Lott Jr. on JLJ Media on YouTube. And last but not least, do tell us your thoughts either in the chat or down below. And please comment. Like I said, we do read them all. We may not always respond, but we do read them all and see them. So yeah, and if you're in the chat, please feel free to comment as well. So yeah, what did you guys think of this week?
It was a pretty good week, I thought. Pretty interesting. A lot of chatter, but good week, a lot of good movement, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was dense. It was dense. I enjoyed almost every conversation that was had.
Mm-hmm. That's a great word, dense. Yeah, that definitely describes it. Yeah, we were saying earlier, it's not a lot of new storylines, but the ones that we have, it's like we're just digging deeper and deeper, and they're finding something interesting to sort of pull out from it, which I'm enjoying lately. Yeah, this week was a lot. And a lot of new characters interacting too, which was nice. So, so yeah, it was a good week this week. So yeah, should we get to it?
Yep.
Starting early, or on time, I should say. So going on time. My own little hourglass here. Can you guys see it? Am I in? Where am I?
Yay!
It's a nice hourglass.
Yeah. Ready? We're about to start.
Yeah.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Time to start.
Dishin Days.
Dishin Days.
And can set that there and forget it as we usually do. And we are going to start. Oh, sorry. As you can notice, Tony is not here this week. He's probably out hosting some fabulous event, but he will be back with us next week. So yeah, catch all 4 of us back next week. But yeah. Start this week. We are starting with our first storyline, a big one, and that is Secrets Out. This was the Xander, Philip, Sarah, Tony, Theo, Chad, Anna, Kate, Stephanie, Alex, Maggie, Gabby, Brady, Leo, and Marlena. Almost half the cast was involved in the storyline one way.
I know, it would be less to say who wasn't involved.
I know. I was like doing this, and I was like adding.
Yeah.
And when I do the outline, I'll put on the episode and I'll mute it and then put my cursor down below to as if I'm fast forwarding, but it shows the picture when you put it there. So as I'm going along, every time I see someone new, I run over to the outline and type their name. And this one was like Alex, Marlena. Okay, Stephanie was here. Okay, that's right. The Brady was in this one. And
yes. And said secret that involved all these people.
Which not what half the cast knows now. So like this big secret that was so torturous and such a big thing to be kept a secret or blah 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 is now half of everyone knows now.
And I like how I'm trying to remember who told Brady that scene at the Brady pub.
Alex.
Who was he talking to?
Alex.
Was he talking to Alex? Yeah. How Alex just nonchalantly just like it was just like in conversation. Oh, by the way. I was like, wow, this huge secret, and it's just like, by the way, bro. And I'm like, oh, okay, so that the wind was taken out of that secret, I guess. But yeah, now it's becoming this like open secret. So now it's just it's complicated.
Yeah. Before we get into how complicated it is, can we just laugh our asses off at how butthurt Brady was that he didn't know? It's like, dude,
him and that son of his just can't stand it when they're not fully in the know of ever like it. Yeah, and
like look, I get that you're
bro, you don't even go to work anymore. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, look. Did he have a right to know? Probably. But honestly, if you wanted to know, you could have known.
Yeah, he's been so disconnected from this storyline that anytime he comes in, it just reminds me that he's part of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he used to be such a big part of like this storyline when he ran Titan and all that kind of stuff. And even with the basic black stuff, I feel like every once in a while they would throw him like a work storyline that was kind of interesting or at least involved other people, but he's been so removed from this that and we'll talk about that. Wait, it's not a separate thing. I think I put it as into this because we were talking about it. His conversation with Gabby, where it looks like he may be moving in a different direction, which is interesting. I was like, I don't know about that. Seems like we're getting wants to follow in dad's footsteps, which I don't know how I feel about that yet.
No.
To see what you guys think later, but yeah, he's so. And then when he said it, I was like, "You've been so busy with your children, like what? Like basic black."
It's like your kids need that. Yeah, your kids need their dad more than you need to be included in every corporate thing, every basic black thing. But what got me about the conversation about Gabby is like now she's offering to take over basic black for him, really. Like that's what she offered. But then how will that work if because she's also trying to be CEO of Demira. So
well, now the funny thing is we see what we at least got what Tony's after, and he's not just after Demira, he wants both companies.
No, he wants both.
And people were wondering, like, how is he playing both sides? And I think I figured it out. I think that was his play all along, was that he could hold up the contract with Gabby so long as he worded it as that she would be CEO of just Demira. But if he takes both Demira and Titan, he can then swoop in comes Mr. Theo Carver.
Yeah, I was still a little confused. I never got the impression that he was 100% like screwing over Gabby, but now that he revealed he wants both companies, I was like, okay, is he like cementing himself as like sort of like chairman of the board kind of thing? And then Gabby and Theo would kind of be under him, which I'm okay with. I hope that's the case, and I hope he really isn't screwing over Gabby, because and I hope that if he does give Gabby Titan. I mean, he does give Gabby Demira and not Titan. I hope he doesn't try that switch. Like, oh, this is the better company, so I want to give Theo, the birthright company and give you the other one. I hope that's not the case. But I'm totally fine if that's his plan all along.
Yeah, I do think the way Theo has been playing it and just kind of the nuance of it, he's playing it like Tony's pulling one over on her, and
that's what I'm afraid of,
and she's not picking up on it, and Gabby, and that's Gabby. Like Gabby, I don't want to say she's easily fooled, but I think she does get blinded when an opportunity for power comes at her,
Mhm.
she'll focus more on that than possibly the person offering it to her, not being legit.
Mm-hmm. Actually, funny thing, I actually love the idea when she said, "I'll take over Basic Black." I was like, "Oh, okay." Like it seemed like Brady is headed in a different direction. Maybe we'll see. So I was like, "Oh, that's a nice way to like keep the company." And I believe her when she says like,
Mhm.
I would protect the company. I'd fold it into Gabby Chic or make it a subdivision or however she would do it.
Yeah.
But I believed her. I didn't think she was like being sneaky or trying to like,
No,
get
she wouldn't bury it.
I don't think she was being sneaky. Like,
Yeah.
I actually felt Gabby was being like legit and honest and genuine.
Yeah.
But I was just like, well, wait, how is that going to work if with the whole CEO Demira thing?
Mhm.
I just couldn't, in that moment, I couldn't connect the dots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I think
And
I
also-
think she just wants to be like the ultimate power woman.
Yeah. And also interesting, Gabby didn't know, she doesn't know the Titan part of it either. So she's, she's just in the dark as anybody else, which worries me a little bit though with the Tony stuff. Like if he is going after both companies, she should know that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think Tony still has something up his sleeve. Hopefully it's I'm giving each of you a company to run with me as sort of, the advisor or, pulling the strings from behind the scenes kind of a thing. But yeah.
Theo had a lot of good content this week. And we finally got a really good really good meet out of their newest actor welcoming to the show. And you could see our interview with him that we did last week. And so what do we think about this new and dynamic Theo Carver?
I'm on board with him.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I don't think there's anything inherently, and I think that's what makes this I think like company thing so intriguing. Again, it's a CEO thing in a different way, but it's enjoyable, and it's both of these companies, like we said, fighting for each other. I like it. I don't think any one of them is more evil than the other. You know what I mean? Like Tony's fighting for his family company, and Xander and Philip are fighting for theirs. And I totally think if Theo wants to sort of join the company, it's cool. Like as long as he's above board on, you know what I mean? It's not. I don't want to see Demira go back to sort of being illegal or like doing shady things. Like I don't think that's a good idea, just in general. But up until now, it's really like, company against company kind of a thing.
Yeah. But do we buy Theo as, really sinking his teeth into the Demira business?
Are we okay with that? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I think I didn't have an aversion to it.
I like the conversation he had with Chad where you saw that he like really felt something about like the company not being in and didn't understand why Tony was the only one fighting. He didn't really get Chad sort of washing his hands of it. He sort of was like Uncle EJ's, he's involved with the hospital now, which is weird. But I also think he's at the point in age-wise where he's like, okay, I can step into this role and take some sort of actual power here, and not because before he was working with them, but not like fully, like we'll talk about the shooting stuff later, but that's when he got shot, was when he was working for Demira and sort of doing some underhanded things. So I think this is him like maybe coming in and trying to do something legitimate. And he's like, well, who else is going to take it? Johnny doesn't want it. EJ doesn't want it. Chad doesn't want it. Like, why shouldn't I step up and help run the family?
It would be a little jarring if they introed Theo as that's like into it immediately, but there's a little bit of exploration going on and a little bit of build up to it. So yeah, but I appreciated the conversation about that Chad was kind of going over the series of events, like the revolving door of CEOs. And I was like, he was describing what like basically the fan commentary about the Demira, like how it just became so repetitive. And I was like, oh, I think we said that a couple times.
Yes. We did.
For how many years?
Yeah. And I think more and more, I think that the stepping stones that were laid out for Theo's return were just so smart, because originally I was wondering, why are they, kind of harping so much about Theo and Claire and Theo and Claire? And I don't think it was just to physically bring back Theo. I think it was to set the stage for where he is at emotionally, where we're setting him up to be the guy that he's not a kid anymore. He's had a lot of life experience. He's literally been screwed over a couple of times. And it seems like he's kind of in this place is like where he's just over it.
Yeah.
He's
also
over being underestimated and taken for granted.
Yeah. He's also roughly around the same age that they all started wanting this, like whether it was Chad or EJ or Gabby, like, mid to late 20s when they started to get into this, I want to run things and I want to have my ownership on this. And yeah, I'm interested to see. I want to see now the conversations he's having with Tony, because we didn't see that first one.
Yeah.
We don't really know what Tony offered him, or if it was a come on board. We don't know if it was a CEO position. I don't know. It's hard to tell if he was feeling Chad out to see if he still wants it, meaning like not I'm gonna have competition, but more so like, is anyone else interested in this but me? Or so I'm interested to see what those conversations are with Tony about. Did he just bring him in for support and this idea of you have a place in Demira when we take it back, or is it I want to sort of, for lack of a better term, like groom you or mentor you into kind of running things?
No.
Yeah. Someone said, see, I don't think Tony's setting up Theo. Debbie Bright was asking a question. I think if anyone's being set up, maybe it's Gabby or being left in the dark. But I think Tony is being whatever he's telling Theo. I think he's probably being upfront about it.
No. I think Tony has legit plan, like honest. What am I trying to say here? Genuine plans for Theo. But with Gabby, they're shady.
Yes, he sees. Because Tony is not Andre. But Tony is Stefano's son, so he very much sees the layout. He sees that none of his brothers are willing or able to step up to the plate. Kristen's in jail, and it didn't work out with that well when she was running things, anyways. So he's looking to the next generation and looking around and seeing how can we honor Stefano's legacy? How can we honor the company and I can still be fair to everyone? And I think he genuinely saw Theo and was like, he seems like he's ripe and ready for this opportunity and he would be good at it. He's never been given the opportunity or the mentorship to have the leadership position, but now he has some life experience behind him. He has a bit of an edge, a bit of a new drive in him. And I think Tony is just really embracing that and going to help to mentor him.
Yeah. No, totally. So we want to get, there was so many, that was one set of conversations.
That's just one part of it.
I know.
Okay,
so we get into, I loved one of my favorite parts, the Anna and Kate Bitch Fest 2025 so far. What we got.
This was so good.
This is so few and far between. Every once in a while though there was an Anna and Kate scene. Yeah, which is ironic because if you guys follow them or know, they're sort of besties. So it's nice whenever they get together and can go at each other. Yeah.
No, it was good seeing I feel like these the term soap diva or diva is kind of thrown around a lot. These are two bona fide soap divas, and they've had their storylines together in the past, but these moments where there's just that twinge of animosity, but they keep it in check, and it's more just their tone is what is like they're calling each other bitches without calling each other bitches. It's the tone in which they're speaking to each other. It was great. And they both kind of have each other's number.
Yeah, it's like a weird sort of like frenemy relationship because also their history together, their children are married to each other, so they like share grandchildren, and so there's a lot of history there with then with Roman and John and Marlena, and yeah, everyone sort of mixed in there. But yeah, it's like if they're not fighting over something directly, they're fine with each other. You know what I mean? Like they're not best friends, but like, they can be okay. But if there's a chance for them to like get snippy or snarky with each other, they sort of jump on it. Yeah. And I was surprised that Anna knew as much as she like. I guess I'm not surprised Tony told her everything, but I was surprised when it came out and she revealed it. I was like, oh, okay, so Anna knows too.
She knows to add Anna to the ever growing list.
Yeah. Well, I love that because like it keeps it real that Anna and Tony are each other's forever. They're each other's relationships. Like they don't have to hide anything from each other.
Yeah, no, totally.
And there's these comments about Tony being Andre. Like, let's not.
No.
I
don't think so.
It's always possible that they're going to try to go that route again, even though I think he died a pretty definite death, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, we always say that, but and they were proven wrong. But look, just because Tony is not Andre doesn't mean that he's not a Demera.
Yeah,
Tony can have a devious side, like
definitely, yeah. I think it's because people are so used to Andre being so evil that Tony is like so good in comparison. But Tony can be a great character as well. Like he's relatively even keeled compared to Andre, of course, but he can get down and dirty and be sneaky just like anyone else.
I mean, technically, Tony is not doing anything wrong.
No, exactly.
No, he's not actually.
Yeah,
like
he's so funny. Yeah.
I mean, he's gone through proper channels. He went through an intermediary with Gabby, who legitimately hired Steve as a PI. He's going through the proper legal channels and being upfront. It's just because it's a little underhanded doesn't mean that it's evil. It's just him leaning into his Demera side, and that doesn't change his character into a 180. He can be sneaky. It's okay.
Yeah, no, totally. And it was funny because I remember this when he had his meeting with Philip and Xander. Them going up against each other was how he got killed the last time. If you guys remember, it was his fight with Philip. So in that scene there, it like brought it back. It was like, oh god, like these. Well, maybe not Xander wasn't part of it at the time, but Philip and Tony have gone up against each other in regard to like Titan Demir before. So like, I like that this one is not. It's not physical. It's not. It's not as devious or crazy as that one was the last time. Like, I don't have a threat that one of them is going to be killed. There was no, I'm going to take a hit out on them or I'm going to, break some legs. So, like, it wasn't part of none of that. Yeah.
This is the corporate intrigue that we asked for. That we asked for it. This is what we're getting.
Yeah.
They're actually doing pretty well, I feel like, in terms of like the way Days has handled these corporate storylines in the past. I feel like they're actually doing a pretty decent job with this one.
Yeah.
So I mean, look at the amount of people that we're talking about.
I know. So what do we think of Tony's offer to kind of, I don't know how much of a fair offer it was, but what do we think of his offer to Xander and Philip?
So he wants to avoid he wants to sue to challenge the merger for fraud.
Yes,
he can avoid going to trial either by handing over both Demira and Titan.
Yeah, and he'll pay for Titan. He says.
Say again.
And he was saying he'll pay for Titan.
He'll pay for Titan. We just don't know.
He'll pay them out. He'll buy them out essentially.
I don't think they'll go for it.
They better not. That's ridiculous.
After all that, they'll just be like, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, I think they're going to fight, but I thought it was interesting that their response wasn't go to hell, you're crazy. Their response was first they said how much. That was their first
I know
response.
They were actually
and then they said we'll think about it, which again could mean no, I think. But I thought it was interesting that their first response was how much, not go to hell, you're crazy.
I think that they were just gathering intel because I think that they, when they said that, then the light clicked on for me. They're like, oh, I think that they're trying to actually figure out, get a little information and see if how serious Tony is and if Tony actually has the funds to pull that off. So I think that was part of a larger intel gathering on their part.
Or maybe it was just like a way to buy time.
That too.
Maybe. Yeah.
I mean, do we think like Tony's case against them?
It didn't seem that strong, actually.
It doesn't seem that strong, but they would need to get everybody on board about, like, because if this goes to trial and people are subpoenaed and they have to testify under oath, it's like everybody needs to be on the same page, and you cannot have one person defect and tell a different story.
Yeah, I think that's what not sold it for me completely. I still think it's a little weak, but that helped sell it when he said, I think Tony said, they were like, oh, we had Philip sign the forms, we legitimized him as CEO. But Tony was like, okay, well, there's that. There's also the criminal charges you both could be faced with, kind of going into a merger this size, which I was like, okay, that might wake them up a little bit. So I also like that, like you just said, Michael, it could come out, all these people knew. In that case, Xander can't pretend like he didn't know, or that it was all Philip. Like, that's off the table when Tony starts subpoenaing half the city that knew that there was Ford. So yeah, I think it's a little bit of a credible threat. I just don't know if I don't think it's the ace in the hole for them to be like, okay, fine, we got to give you Titan kind of a thing.
No, and that brings up a good point, that Tony's only evidence right now is the bug that was illegally planted in the. Well, I mean, I guess there's that, but then if everyone everyone that knows,
it kind of needs the legality of it if it's true. Yeah.
So again, they would need to make sure, like, if they do take this to trial, they just need to be sure that nobody says nothing.
Which
Sarah,
I mean, what's the likelihood
well,
of that? I know.
Sarah can lie. What am I talking about? But yeah.
Oh God.
Sure.
But no, definitely interesting.
Okay, so who else was it? Okay, so then there's the Xander Philip part of it. So they're getting along, and they're getting along. They're putting up with each other. They're fighting Tony together. Let's talk about the Sarah part that was brought into it.
Oh
yeah, this was very not cringy, but I was like, 2 steps, one step forward, 2 steps back here.
Yes.
It's like, so now Sarah had, so
I know, it's
during the birthday party, Sarah got Philip alone and once again pressed him about whether Xander did the beat down on him or not. Philip stuck to his story. Xander overheard. He came in and, kind of guilted Sarah again. Sarah is now backtracking and saying she's sorry and how could you blah, 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 blah. Wow. And it's like, I want Sarah and Xander to get along, but there's this lie. There's still a lie, like, hanging over them. It's like, it's never going to be, if they get back together and the lie is still there, it's not going to be, they will never, ever, ever get back together and stay together if there's a lie looming around, and, hope. Exactly. Annette Thompson, you took the words right out of my mouth. I was like, I'm thinking maybe after everything is done with the corporate side of it, maybe they can come clean about it later and it won't be so jarring of a reveal. But it's still just so messy.
Yeah, it was a little cringe for me just because I was like, oh God, like, first of all, I thought Sarah believed him a little bit. She hasn't believed him up until this point. And it was like, now that they're getting along, you think that would be more of a reason for her to think he was lying. But again, whatever. She kind of like went with what Philip was saying, which I was like, I don't know about that. But I was like, okay, I'm going to go with it. And then when kind of Xander was leaning into it, just because I think she was being so apologetic about everything she'd done. I feel like she was finally being honest about her feelings and her perspective. I was cringing about Xander, but I think when he spoke with Marlena, I kind of got it a little more. I think if it continues, I think he needs to tell the truth. But I didn't blame him this time for maybe not saying anything, because from his perspective, when he had a session with Marlena, he's still dealing with his own trust issues for her. So I feel like he's kind of like he's stepping, very lightly around this to be like, does she deserve the truth? It's like if we're not going to get back together, then what's the point, I guess? Do you know what I mean? Like if maybe it's fine that she believes I didn't do that. And then, we can go on and be co-parents and be civil to each other and it'll stop the fighting. But I think if it gets to the point where she's now questioning or wanting to get back with him, then I think it gets murky there. Because then it's like, okay, how much does he owe her at that point? If they're just co-parents, maybe he doesn't owe her that truth. But if they're going to be together as a couple again, that's another thing hanging over them.
I would like to think that if things go the route of them getting back together and trying their marriage over again, that he wouldn't do it without being honest. I could see a scene where like they're starting to, like move in or whatever, and then he has a guilty conscience about it, maybe because he's growing now, and just blurts it out to lay everything on the table. Now, whether she'll, what her reaction will be, well, who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's messy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really enjoy this, renewed bond that Philip and Xander have. I think they're really taking advantage of the fact that they're flawed. They're not perfect. They're Victor's sons, but as Victor's sons, I think they now acknowledge, I think if anything, it's because of their flaws that they're now getting along.
Yeah. They're way more alike than they like to think they are. I like to think they each have, I think it's funny because Xander still has, of course, rightfully so, this chip on his shoulder about not being acknowledged and not being treated well. But I also think he doesn't understand Philip's childhood and trajectory. Like, yes, he grew up as the only child that was actually raised by Victor, but that wasn't a picnic. I mean, I don't think he thinks like Philip. I think he thinks Philip just grew up with a silver spoon and his life was great.
Treated like a golden boy.
Yeah, exactly. And that wasn't the case. So
he faced heavy scrutiny from Victor, just like Xander did.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a little more severe on Xander's side, but
yeah, no, totally. Yeah,
it was not, like you said, it wasn't all sunshine and roses for Philip either. Okay, so then there's the other twosome, the other gruesome twosome, Stephanie and Alex.
Yes.
This all Tony stuff came out during the press conference for One Stormy Night.
Yeah. Well, let's just do the One Stormy Night part because we do have Alex and Stephanie later.
Oh, we do.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't rope them into this. Okay.
No, because I separated it just because it was like, I know they kind of bleed into each other, but I just separated it. Just
I guess there's more. Yeah, you're right. There's more going on there than just this. Okay.
Yeah.
But the point being that the point being that everybody knows now. And, to your point earlier that a lot of people would need to be subpoenaed.
Yeah. I found their fight or their tiff, I guess you call it, wasn't that big of a fight. I felt like it was earned because I felt like week after week, these are two people who their lives are so enmeshed with each other now. It's like they're dating, then he's helping her produce get the book done. Then he's recommending her to Xander to come in and do damage control. They both know the secret. It's like they have a lot. They're meshed way too much with each other than just regular boyfriend and girlfriend who are having fun. There's a lot on their shoulders. So them sort of go, Alex sort of being frustrated about what Stephanie knows and won't reveal versus Stephanie feeling like he's using his position as her boyfriend to pressure her. I thought it was a well-earned sort of fight there between those two.
Yeah, because they haven't really had a big during this go around.
Yeah,
they haven't really had any kind of big fight, and they've always been pretty honest and whatnot with each other. So yeah, they were due for one.
Yeah.
I was on Stephanie's side though, just because I don't know.
No,
I don't know why, but
I agree too. I think he was asking a lot of her to like either reveal. No, because he was trying to get her to ask Steve or to pressure Steve into revealing who the client was, because she said the client wasn't Tony, so they're still dealing with like the mole, the rat kind of a thing. So yeah. Also think it was just pressure from Xander, who was he's been very unreasonable with Alex lately. I feel like part of it is like he's getting along with Philip, so he's not punishing him. He's like taking out. I also think there was a little bit of the taking out because Alex and Stephanie knew the secret, kept it from him. I feel like there's a little bit of that mixed in there too.
You know what it was?
Reasonable.
It's going back to
is very, but it was very Victor.
It's true, yeah. Let's see that. Yep, no one's ever good enough, or what have you done for me lately, kind of a thing.
It's very, very Victor.
Yeah.
Huh. How was Leo involved in this, other than being the whatever
Leo,
the Barbara Walters of Salem?
Yeah, the Barbara Walters of Salem had a little chat with Gabby afterwards. And
that's true, at the house.
He's getting a sneaking suspicion that Gabby knows more about this than she's saying.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. I was like, I thought we were going to get a reveal that either Leo or Stephanie saw Gabby and Tony talking in broad daylight after she very
obviously
ran after him. I know. I was like, oh, God, I know. Or they could have made more of like a fight or put out a little bit more of a performance. Like, Tony, what the hell do you think you're doing? Like, I thought they were going to do that. And, but yeah, I thought the reveal was we were going to like, the camera was going to pan out and we would see like Stephanie or Leo around the corner, like listening in or something.
Why does Leo have to be involved? Because he's Salem's Barbara Walters. He's no longer Lady Whistleblower. He is investigative journalist.
I don't mind him in this. I think they're using him correctly. He's sort of, on the periphery of this stuff with Gabby, and again, he goes back and forth with Gabby. They had this weird moment, and then they'll have a nice moment about something else later. And
they had that moment when they were talking, when he revealed that he knew about Javi and the baby, and then she was like, "I'm really glad he has you." And I was like, "Oh, they like each other. Okay, they are learning to love each other. Maybe not love, but like
grudging tolerance."
Tolerance. Yes, tolerance. There we go.
It did make me think though when they had their scene. Remember when she tied him up in the Kyriakis mansion to the bed and he was like naked or something? Do you guys remember that storyline where she was like,
yes,
and
I
he
forgot
had,
about that, but I forgot what he was.
I forget what he did to her or something. Yeah,
and he just all he had was like a pillow in front of his. His jump.
It was when I think Leo was living they were all living at the Kyriakis mansion together.
Yeah, I forgot what was going on then.
I forget too. Yeah,
was that when he was messing with Sunny?
Probably. That's probably why. He was there.
Maybe she did that for Sunny's benefit.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I forget if anyone remembers in the chat why they were fighting at that point. It was probably over Sunny or Will or something like that.
Yeah, why she tied him up and
But it was it was also the period when he was like hitting on Xander. Yeah, because they were all.
Yeah, I guess lately Leo has been less obnoxious than he has been previously. So they're toning him down a bit. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Also, like it's nice to see, like, that's one thing I think the writers are doing great with this storyline. I understand like everyone doesn't always love the pacing, but I feel like they're making these stories much fuller by having someone like Leo who would be covering this as a major story for the newspaper. Like you give him a couple scenes here, you show Kate and Anna going at it, you see a different dimension with Xander and Marlena roped in here. Like it yeah, you're sort of hitting everyone on all bases.
Yeah. I appreciate that too.
Yeah. Is that? Yeah, I think did we get everyone in the storyline?
Yeah.
And of
Somehow,
course, yeah,
yes.
we have this Xander and Marlena, which is, you know, him sort of admitting he is possibly thinking about forgiving Sarah or getting possibly
Great progress on your anger, but you're still lying.
I know he's not revealing.
But hey, it's only down to one lie. There's only one lie in the ether now that he put the beat down on Philip.
Yeah.
And yeah, so once that's out in the open, then we can be like, yes, then we can really cheer him on.
Yeah. But also I'm thinking too, he probably can't really tell Marlena because it's a crime. So she would probably be forced to I think it's one of those things she would be forced to tell on him kind of a thing.
He told her about Philip's crime.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I think the rule is
that's
that
he tells her about other people's shit, but then keeps his shit to himself.
Yeah, I think the rule for a psychiatrist is that you can break confidentiality if you believe someone is in immediate danger to themselves or others.
Oh, I thought it was a crime too. Like if you admit murder or something, like the person has to go to the police. You can't. But anyway, they could be fudging it. I'm pretty sure it's if you admit a crime that the psychiatrist has. I mean, like I jaywalked or I stole, a TV, like, it's something serious. I think they have to commit it. Yeah.
I like how you equate jaywalking with grand larceny.
Well, technically, it's all a crime. Yeah,
it's all a crime. Mm-hmm. Gabby tied. This is right. Gabby tied Leo up so that Will and Sonny could meet on Valentine's Day and he wouldn't interfere.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay, got
That's why there was the heart pillow.
Oh yeah, covering
his diddles. Yeah.
Okay.
So thank you for that reminder.
Yeah, it's so funny when people interact. What pops into your head of like,
your
history.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah. I didn't forget that Greg Rickart's actually been on the show for about 10 years now.
Yeah, it's been a while when he started. Yeah.
No, we started 2018, I think.
2015.
Was it?
No.
Was it 2018?
No, it was 2018, 2019.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm getting my timeline
when
wrong.
Leo first came on as someone that Vivian found on Grindr or whatever. Yeah.
When he was, because he was trying to set up Sonny for sexual harassment. It was,
okay, I'm extending it.
2018, 2019.
Okay,
well,
we're getting
8 years.
That's still like 7 years.
So, yeah. Cool. So is that it for everyone there? Do we? Yep. What was Maggie? Oh, Maggie and Sarah had the conversation where she was kind of. Well, I know it was really more Sarah just sort of spilling, like, venting. Have I made a mistake? Did I do something wrong? Yeah. I don't know about everyone believing Philip. It seems a little convenient. They've both been saying. They've both been denying it for months now, and I feel like Maggie and Sarah, it's been like, wink, wink, like we know he did it, even if he won't admit to it. To go from that to now, everyone's believing him. I don't know, but gotta move the storyline along, I guess. Okay, should we move on to the next one?
Mm-hmm.
And that, of course, is we have our DNA dilemma here. And this one is the Tate, Sophia, Holly, Ari, Steve, Brady, and Kayla storyline.
Wow.
This is seriously cringing at this storyline.
Yeah. Question.
Yeah.
If
just one.
I know.
Okay, for number one, the online DNA test.
Mm-hmm.
This has never been mentioned before. It has never been like there have been so many. I feel like there have been times people have gone to Kayla asking for a DNA test.
Mm-hmm.
Now all of a sudden, and I feel like she's done it. She's skirted the rules.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, and then she's like, "Oh, there's online. You just go online." Okay, I'm like, why didn't you ever do that before? Kind of.
Yeah.
Okay. What confused me was then like. It's being done at the hospital, though. The test is
that's what it's like. the hospital is also an independent lab, I guess, where you can bring in your own DNA samples to get. I don't know. It doesn't. I was like, what?
I didn't understand it. I didn't get it. It was just something I was just like, I guess I have to go along with this.
I guess it's sort of like a loophole where the hospital isn't taking in the stuff like officially from a patient, so it's like it skirts HIPAA, I guess. I that's how I was kind of understanding it. You know, it's sort of like Steve showed up. It was like, hey, I'll pay you to run these tests, as opposed to Kayla ordering the tests because she's a hospital employee, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Michael's like,
I'm like, just say yes and do it. Like, just have her say yes and do it. Have her, whatever. It was, but then like the whole like, the moment where Brady had the toothbrush in a baggie, and Marlena was like, "I'm not even gonna ask."
I know. I did laugh.
No.
Marlena was like,
Yeah,
"You know
no,
what?
like,
I don't
you don't
want
wanna
it." She knows, but
don't. Just don't.
Yeah, don't involve me until I need
Yeah.
to know.
I kind of chuckled at that.
She's like, listen, I'm grieving. I have some sort of illness that's rearing its head. I'm now watching your demon seed daughter, who I can't tell you about.
Like, leave me out of your mouth, kid.
Yeah.
There's really, there really is only so much that her brain can handle at once.
No.
Yeah.
Funny enough, when he came out with the toothbrush, I thought it was his toothbrush, and that's how they were going to get over the DNA stuff. Because then I thought, like, when Steve brought it, he was going to be like, "Oh, it's not the parent, it's Brady, so I can test it with, it's not."
You can see at least that there's a genetic connection between him and the baby. And
and then when he said it's Tate's, I was like, okay, I like that because it's stronger if it's a parent, but I was like, okay, it makes now this conflict with Kayla, I guess, but. Yeah, but no, when he brought up the toothbrush, I immediately thought it was his toothbrush, and he was gonna. But when he said it was Tate's, I was like, okay, yeah, we're gonna have an issue with that one. Shall we?
One of
shall
many.
We move on?
So they're trying. They're trying.
I can already see Michael Mattis getting red faced.
I'm just like, yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, so they now suspect that Tesoro is the kid.
Yes.
And now they're doing this underground DNA test to try to prove it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, and then what are you going to do? And then what's the plan?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tate might have exercised some rights
I
here.
feel like
I don't know.
This is all, I just feel like this is all Brady Tate ego playing a part, and that they're just convincing themselves that they want this kid in their lives just because they feel like they're being lied to. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like that's fueling things more than actually wanting this kid.
Yeah, I think it's still unclear, like, what they want. I don't even know if they know what they want. They just...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Brady is trying to get it done, even, It's like, and then what? Okay.
My son just wants the truth, and then what? Tate, you just want...
Oh,
Araceli short-circuited.
I don't. You know what? That part. Actually, I'm okay with that. I'm on the Tate side of this Tate Sophia stuff. Well, up until this week, where Tate was on some BS, but yeah, I honestly, like I said, I don't mind that other stuff. I don't think they know what they want, but they just want the truth. I think that's what they're concerned about now. And like I said, I don't mind it. We'll see what happens when they find out the truth.
Yes, but this week it's just solidified everything for me. It's like, none of you are ready to parent this child. None of you.
No.
None of you.
And the only one that really knew that was Sophia.
Yes. And that's why we're Team Sophia, because at least Sophia is very cognizant of the fact that she's not ready to be a mother. Tate's not ready to be a father. Brady, maybe she didn't know Brady that well, but Brady sure as hell is not, Brady, parent your own kids. I've said this before, parent your own kids and then worry about the baby. None of you are ready to be parents. To parent this child that is already here. Go ahead, get your truth. But then wherever Tesoro is going to end
what?
up, leave him there. Leave him there. Because none of you are ready right now. Ridiculous.
Sing it. Preach.
So we had Tate go into devious mode. I don't know what this was.
And that's why, I mean, you can't even be a good sneaky person. Like, you even suck at that. You suck at that.
This came out really odd. I think the way it was filmed and just her coming out of the room and then like there was something just weird about the whole thing. I like the way it went down, the fact that there wasn't real clarification of it. It was like she knew she was onto him, but also like, did you like it? Did you not like it? You're clearly not above now in the hallway when you're talking with Ari, using it against him. You know what I mean? Or like using it maybe to your advantage because now you want Tate yourself, which is also confusing because he's horrible and he's this, he's that, but now you also want him. So, you know, that's weird in and of itself. But
Sophia's intentions right now are a little unclear. I thought we got clarity a couple weeks ago that she wanted Tate, she was going after Tate, like that. But then now we don't know. She's kind of going back and forth. What we know is that Tate's an asshole.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, this week did not. He
did not paint him in a great light. The way he lashed out at Holly, first of all, and then and now that he's doing what he's doing with Sophia and using romantic manipulation.
Yeah, to try and get the truth out. Yeah. I mean, honestly, to me, like they're in the same boat. Like she's, there'd be nothing to get from her if she wasn't lying and fabricating all this to begin with. So, like, they're both horrible, I think.
Yeah. That's kind of all I have to say.
Yeah. Is Ari the only well-adjusted
yes
team on the show?
Apparently,
so
surprisingly, but
I
would say surprisingly, but she was raised by the two gay dads in Arizona.
Right.
Good for her.
And she's she had her, she's had her spats with Gabby, but other than that, she does seem to be the voice of reason amongst the young crew.
And she's she's actually quite mature because she very much knows relationship wise what she doesn't want. Like she likes Aaron, but she's firmly put him in the friend zone, doesn't want to lead him on, just wants to live a normal college life, is very much into a college experience. We saw her interact with Kate a little bit this week where she's really like, nice. I want real world experience. I want to grow and learn. And Kate's like, oh, I think I might have something for you. So, that'll get Ari pull her out of this little teen scene drama a little bit. But then again, she's still stuck in the middle and she's rolling her eyes at all these people like, get it together. My God.
Actually give it to everyone. Give it to, God, why am I forgetting her name now? I was going to say Rachel. Melissa or Marissa?
Marissa
right?
Reyes, yeah.
Yeah. Marissa's, I think she's doing a great job. I also like the writing too, where they're acknowledging that she's in the middle of Sophia and Holly and that he has a strong friendship with both. But I think she's playing it in a good way. I think she gives advice to both of them, doesn't indulge them, I think, especially when it comes to Sophia. Exactly. I think she's being really honest of like, you can have your feelings, but don't go overboard with it. Like, and I think she's towing that line of being a really good friend to both, considering they're sort of enemies, which I think is an interesting sort of way to put someone. Usually the person will skew one person versus the other, or play both sides, and they're being really careful that she's not doing that.
No, she's being a good what's the not mediator,
or like she's like Switzerland, maybe
neutral,
Switzerland. She's Switzerland. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that it for this week? We're on to. So
I mean,
guess
okay,
we're waiting on a DNA test, essentially.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
There was
adults are
no.
acting just as messy as the kids are.
Yes, yes. The moral of the story is none of you are ready to be parents. End scene.
All right, I guess we should move on to our last top storyline. This one I think just is equally interesting, and this one is JJ the cop. And this, of course,
Ooh.
is Theo, JJ, Jada, and Gabby in this one.
Huh. I was on board with and you know, it made sense to me, like, how to put this. Normally, I think I would find it kind of obnoxious that like he now has a problem with JJ being a cop. Like they were supposed to move past it. But the way I kind of rationalized it was that Theo didn't realize what it would do to him to see JJ in that spot. And so his reaction is to go to Jada and try to, you know, I don't want to see it. It can't be happening. So it was something that Theo maybe not even was aware of that was in himself. So yeah, I've you know, though it was, you know, you might say, oh, it was supposed to be forgiven and put in the past. It kind of made sense to me.
The way that they wrote it made perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was very intrigued by this storyline. I like you guys, when we saw it the first time, I was like, oh, what's he mad about or whatever, or he's gonna have a, or they're dredging up this storyline again. Like seems weird, but I do love the way they explained it. It's the PTSD. I also think, and maybe they'll touch on this a little bit in the future, and Jada kind of brought this up, is like, not only did you forgive him when JJ left the force, he moved to South Africa, lived with you, became business partners. You, him, and Claire had this sort of little family there in South Africa. You three were all there together. I think it's also that too. It's the fact that, remember when JJ came back and it was like he got intrigued and wanted to stay in Salem, and it was like he basically sort of left Theo high and dry. So I think even though Theo, I think it is the PTSD and the fact that he left him, I think he's also probably not acknowledging the fact that your best friend basically blew you off and like left your company and left you there. And then he comes back to Salem and becomes a cop, the thing that caused you pain and conflict and paralysis and, you know, all this other stuff. I think a lot of that is mixed in too, even though it wasn't necessarily highlighted. But I like the PTSD of it now. I also like the fact that he kept stressing, I like JJ as a person, but the cop stuff is really like tripping me up.
And that's really, really, really true to life, where you see all these people that are like, they like, you know, they understand, you know, there's a human element to those kinds of things where you can understand if someone makes a mistake, but there's a you have to hold yourself to a higher standard when you're put in a position of power. And if you make a split-second mistake like that, you know, the first thing that your victim wants to know is, are you capable of making a mistake like that again? And if the answer is yes, then they don't, you know, it makes perfect sense why JJ wouldn't want, why Theo wouldn't want JJ to have his badge back.
Also, think JJ does, I mean, again, I'm sure he'll find out soon how Theo feels, but I feel like from his point of view, there should also be like some trepidation too. You know what I mean? Like it feels like he's walking up to JJ like everything's fine, but it should also be like, hey, you know, shit, sorry I abandoned you 6 months ago or a year ago. Sorry I left our company. Sorry, oh, I'm a cop now. Like I feel like JJ should expect a little bit of, oh shit, I wonder what Theo's gonna think. Like we saw that he was surprised to see him. And I think the first initial, their initial interaction where he was like, oh, Theo was weird. I felt like after that, he should have been clued in a little bit. Even if he didn't think the cop thing was an issue, it still should have been like, hey, maybe, you know, especially in that conversation with Stephanie last week, I thought he was going to say like, oh, maybe Theo's sour that I left the company or I left him in South Africa, or like there should be a little bit of acknowledgement, I think, from JJ's side that maybe things aren't so great because of how he left things with Theo. But
well,
yeah,
Theo even mentioned that. Like, he was like, oh, he went back to the forest, didn't even talk to me. Like, he would have appreciated that, just that little gesture. So yeah, maybe a conversation is needed between the two.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Yeah. But this all goes to the larger picture, I think, of Theo's return, that he's coming back with a little bit of an edge where he's no longer a kid. He's no longer what I think we talked about, where he's no longer just Abe's son. He's no longer just, he's not defined by the person that he was in the past. He's grown up quite a bit. He's gone through a lot of rough spots, and he's really in a transition period in his life where he has an edge to him. He's like, I don't want to necessarily, I don't necessarily want to be the person that I've been in the past.
Yeah.
And,
also,
maybe stuff down stuff.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Tyler. I think we always question, like, is whatever they bring Theo back, it's always like, oh, do they remember he's on the spectrum, or are we going to get acknowledged for that? I feel like he's been giving us that a little bit in his interactions. The interaction with Chad, I felt like we got a little bit. The interaction with JJ a little bit. So I feel like it's there. He's just they're just not talking about it or harping on it. I think that he's showing that, yes, Theo is autistic. He will always be autistic. He will always be on the spectrum. So I think he's giving us a little bit of that in his performance. I think it's subtle, but it also makes sense. It's probably at his age that this is how someone his age manages his emotions, being on the spectrum. And this is how it may come out in maybe the quirkiness or the social anxiety or the awkwardness. Like, I think he was doing a really good job.
Yeah, it's very subtle, very well done. I really appreciated that aspect of it.
Yeah.
But so all this to say, Tyler's a very good addition to the cast. We did interview him last week. If you haven't seen our interview with him, go check that out. We knew that, we got a very good vibe off of him when we talked to him, and now seeing the meat that he has put into several different storylines this week, I'm really looking forward to things to come.
We had a message from Lady Whistleblower. Did I miss this? JJ said he introduced Claire to her boyfriend. Did I miss that?
Too, but I think I missed that too. Annette mentioned it.
Did I? Wait, was that's not a... Please, no spoilers if that's a spoiler. I don't remember that being said. Was that?
But if it is, okay.
I mentioned it too, so I think maybe it was mentioned in a conversation that we
really. Okay, I don't remember JJ talking about Claire, but
I think.
Or did Sean say it? Or I don't know
who said it, but
Yeah.
Wow, okay. That's
Oh, JJ said it in the square. Wait. Who was he talking to? Okay, I just don't remember it.
We gotta go back to that. We'll go back to that and we'll see if we can verify that. Yeah, but
that could also be another. Yeah.
Oh boy! Thank you, Lady Whistleblower, for reminding us of that. I will be sure to double check that. Yeah. Now I'm really curious how that.
Yeah, that could also be another little factor there of maybe some misplaced resentment toward JJ about that. Who knows? Yeah.
JJ and Gabby had a moment.
Oh, that's yep.
Nothing was really resolved with it, I don't think, though.
Again, until they got back together, I just completely forgot about them. Honestly, like I've seen Gabby and other things, and this takeover storyline, then this possible thing with Philip. We're still not sure like where that's going, or if there is something to that. So when they were put together, I was like, oh yeah, JJ and Gabby. That's right. We were rooting for them at one point, or
I had always been rooting for them, and then they share that Gabby was the one that saved him from killing himself.
Yeah,
essentially. So they I feel like they have like a forever bond in a way, but now the animosity is still there about how he came after her when thought that she was a suspect in EJ's shooting.
I mean, Gabby and JJ seem to be done romantically, but I wouldn't be surprised if they brought her back in one more time as JJ begins to touch back on the shooting, because yes, Gabby was a crucial part of his healing at that He literally would not be alive without her.
Yeah, it's a good way to weave them back together, I guess.
I'm still rooting. I'm still rooting for them, kind of in the
Yeah,
back.
I like them. I just it was like out of sight, out of mind until they showed up, and I was like, oh yeah, we have it.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily
put the kibosh on them, and then it was it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of them as a couple, but I do think that it would be better for them to come to a detente and to just acknowledge that they are a crucial part of each other's lives.
Yeah. Yeah, it was starting to remind me, and probably because I did Those Were Days Extended kind of on this, that like the Chad Gabby kind of relationship, like they were so intertwined with each other, even romantically for a while. And then it was just like cold turkey. They hate each other for years. And then now they're at a mutual sort of cordial place that I was like, oh, please don't do that with JJ. Like, I don't want them, whether she forgives him or not, I don't want them to be like enemies. I think
for sure.
It hasn't gone that far with these two that,
that's true.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. So that was that it for that one. Love seeing Jada. Nice to see Jada sort of be sympathetic to Theo, but also like stand her ground and stick up for JJ a bit in terms of his record as a cop. And, so yeah, it was nice to see her. I guess that's it for our top storylines. And just a quick reminder, you can check us out on social media, Dishin Days Show on Facebook, at Dishin Days on Instagram, and Dishin Days on X and Threads. Please, if you are watching us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that like, please, and hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop something. And if you are inclined, for $4.99, you can join our members only page, where, again, you get free content from your favorite day stars in studio, also segments from myself and Araceli and TSS and Those Were Days Extended, in addition to our monthly either happy hours or after the dishes that we have.
Which we have one next week.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, next week. Yeah. Also, you can check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Take us with you on your daily activities. And check out our former co-host, James Ott Jr., JLJ Media, where he covers Bold and Beautiful, Young and Restless, General Hospital, Beyond the Gates, in addition to his audio dramas and many various interviews there. And don't forget to tell us your thoughts and comment below. We will check them out, and comment in the chat. Please. On to our tidbits, and we are starting with Move In Ready. This is, of course, Alex, Stephanie, and Jada. What do you guys think? Too fast or combining resources, as they kept putting it?
Combining resources. I don't think it's too soon. I feel like they've been pretty solid long enough that this would be a logical step for them to take. Since they don't seem to, I know they had their fight this week, but they reconciled pretty quickly and amicably. So, I support it.
I thought it was a little too soon, just because, like, Stephanie made the point of, oh, he rushed into it, or she rushed into it with Chad, and again, there were kids involved in that, so that was different. But immediately, the funny thing was, I thought he was going to bring up, or she was going to bring up Teresa. I was like, how they rushed into like living together, and so I was like, maybe cool it a bit. Like you're already next door to each other and kind of living together. So I was like, maybe let's not make it official just yet, But it seems like they're heading that way, I guess.
I don't know. I was okay with it.
Yeah, I've said this before, and I will say it again, that I am shocked. I am positively shocked at the turnaround that I have done on this couple. I really am. It was only in February that I said I was never, ever, 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 ever going to want to see them back together. And look at me now. I don't know how it happened, but somehow this became a couple I root for.
Yeah.
That I am each week pleasantly surprised and intrigued and actually sitting at attention as I watch them, and I watch how they interact with each other and talk with each other and work through their fights. And I even loved their fight this week because I didn't feel like necessarily it was over the top or so unfair, or that they didn't speak. It was like they didn't speak disrespectfully to each other. It was clear from the get that they weren't really upset with each other. They were upset with the situation, which I appreciated, and it seemed like they were just taking out their frustrations out of each other. Yeah, but it wasn't like they were arguing with each other. Like they didn't have a problem. Like neither one of them did anything wrong. And they weren't saying that they did each other wrong. It was just a frustration. Like they were just upset at the whole situation that they were in. Neither one of them was to blame. Neither one is even in it. They were just dragged into it.
They're just honestly, they were dragged into it. I think maybe one of the reasons for the turnaround on your part, Araceli, is because in addition to what's going on with their work and the business, we've seen I guess it's mostly on Alex's side. We've seen him interact with her parents too. And we've actually seen them go through some moments that like couples actually go through, just those kind of human moments where like, oh, her dad found out that you were cited or whatever for streaking or whatever, the toga party, whatever that mess was. And him being kind of embarrassed by it and humbled by it and whatever. And it's moments like that kind of, I guess, legitimize or genuinize a couple like that you're actually seeing. We're actually seeing the growth and the progression. So maybe that has something to do with it too.
And the thing is that I think I thought initially Alex had a lot of growing up to do, but I was so surprised at the level of growth that Stephanie still had to do. And maybe that was my part for overestimating Stephanie and her maturity level. Maybe not really taking into account that there might be a reason that she's had so many bad relationships. But she reminded me this week that she has to take accountability for her part in her relationships and her failed relationships. And maybe that one of her problems that she has in the past jumped in with both feet too fast. And her taking responsibility for that this week really showed her growth level and saying, it's something I don't want to do this time. If that's what we're doing.
I like them as a couple. I've always liked that. I find their relationship like similar to you guys. It seems to be the most realistic in a good way. Like the conflict is not anything crazy. I feel like their first go around, they had the big fight about when Kayla was on her deathbed and the phone call and all that kind of stuff, and it brought up a lot of their issues early on. But I think this now second go around, I find them to be so enjoyable and so relaxed and easy. And again, we know some drama is coming for them soon. You can only be happy so long. But I enjoy them as a couple. I mean, I think them moving in is a little too soon, but I'm also okay with it. I mean,
Yeah, and Jada made and I think Jada made an excellent point. It's like, you know what, he lives across the hall. And when you inevitably fight again, because it happens, guess what? My couch is open to you. Because it's like nothing. This isn't like you're getting engaged, you're getting married. This is just the next step. And if you need me, you still got your girlfriend here. Yeah.
Alex just needs to, de straight single man the place.
Yeah.
Needs to clean it up.
Wash a dish. Hire a housekeeper. Many relationships have been saved by hiring a housekeeper. Yes.
Because that man's apartment probably it stinks like sweat and something else. I'm not gonna say what, but
we'll see.
I kind of was surprised. I guess like he's asking her, so she should move in there. But I was kind of like, wouldn't it make sense for you to switch? Like, should he put
Jada in her apartment?
Yeah, because her place is the bigger place, obviously. And it was like, it always surprised me when two people move into a smaller place. You know what I mean? Like,
okay, so yeah, I was curious about like, I guess I forgot that Stephanie's place is allegedly a 2-bedroom.
Yeah,
Alex's place is a 1-bedroom.
I'm guessing a 1-bedroom. Yeah.
So yeah, it would make sense to move into the bigger place.
Or I guess no, maybe because his is probably a 2, right? Because what's her name was there before they were together as like a roommate.
Joy.
Yeah. What's her name? Teresa. When she first moved in, it wasn't as.
Oh yeah, you're talking about that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So I guess this place is a 2-bedroom, maybe. I guess. So I guess
we need days. We need details. We need details. Like, we need these details for things to make sense.
Yeah.
In my head, I was thinking 1-bed, and I was like, oh, why doesn't Jada take his place and he move in there? So it's technically bigger, but they're probably the same size, whatever.
Yes. Yeah. And lastly, on this, we did get there is someone coming to town to see Stephanie, and it looks like we're gonna get that answer this week. And the only reason I'm saying this is because his name has been dropped. Yeah, last 10 seconds of Friday's episode.
Oh,
I think is Jeremy Horton coming to town?
I'm assuming it's Jeremy. I can't imagine who else it would be.
Yeah, I can't even think of who else it would be
because it's either Jeremy or Jeremy. It's one of the two of them.
Yeah, because all of her other exes are in town.
No.
They already live there.
Jeremy or who?
Or Joy.
Or Joy.
No, it was a man holding the book.
It looked like a man hand. It looked like
a man holding the book.
Yeah.
Yeah. That.
And we know there's some. It's been revealed a couple months ago, and I'm trying to remember how many months ago to see if that's like 2 actors were announced. One of them being Wayne Northrup's son was announced coming on the show. We haven't seen him yet.
Yeah, he'll be soon, I think.
And then there was another actor, Michael somebody, that was announced as somebody, but they didn't announce their character name. Yeah. So maybe one of these 2 actors is now. That was the hand we saw.
This is going to be, I think, really intriguing.
Yeah, I'm curious to see a growner Jeremy Horton, and if he will be a villain, or if we'll have a little bit of a not a retcon, but a changing of character for the good. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a Horton villain for a little while. We haven't probably had one in a of
why does everyone want it to be Bobby or Everett?
No, guys, it's not. Guys, I mean, I can say it's not.
Not the shoes are giving Bobby Everett.
I have, with absolutely no forehand knowledge, I will say no.
Yeah, I think Barbarette is
There's just a lot of support for Barbarette for whatever.
Yeah, look, we want justice for that storyline too, but this isn't it.
Annette, because we need answers to.
I know.
And who killed his mom? Oh, that's right. We did. There was a lot of unanswered questions with that.
Yeah, look, no, believe me. Look, I want answers. We all want answers, but this is not.
I forgot about that. They did make a big deal about his mom, and that was. I forgot about that.
I feel like we thought they were leading towards Clyde. For once, we thought like, oh, is he Clyde's son or something? We thought like that was going to be a reveal. I mean, whatever it was, they dropped it, of course. So who knows? Yeah. So
at least what's the face got an Emmy nomination for it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we will see about that.
Yeah. Next up in Tidbits, we have Lover and Secretary. This, of course, is Kat, EJ, Chad, and Thomas.
Finally, some positive opinions on this couple.
Mm-hmm. Wait, which one?
Both.
Which couple, I'm saying?
On Kat and Chad.
Okay.
Yeah. There were finally some, EJ piped in and gave his opinion. No love lost between him and the Hortons. So, and some grudging respect for Kat's deviousness.
Mm-hmm. Did we think, not that they're making them a couple, I don't think that. Do we think EJ was a little inappropriate, or aka flirting with her a bit?
Some flirty vibes, yeah.
I think a little bit, but I don't think he realizes. I don't think he realizes it, and I don't think he necessarily realizes that because there's one little piece of this that is still dangling out there, and I think that there was a reason that we got this scene between Kat and EJ this week, because remember, guys, way back when she looked at Sammy's picture and he's like, how do I know her? There's something there that we have not gotten to.
Yeah, and he got this week the "you seem so familiar to me."
Yeah.
I think they were in the same facility. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm assuming they had to interact with each other at some point, even though they didn't look like each other or didn't.
There's
maybe
something.
They were bandaged, but I feel like I feel like it has to be more than they were just in the same place. If EJ's saying you look familiar to me, that would mean that in this clinic or wherever they were being, getting rehabilitated, they had some sort of interaction. It may not have been talking because they may have recognized each other for that, but maybe, I don't know, seeing each other from afar, or I don't know.
And I don't know that, and I don't even know that Kat, and if that's the case, I don't even think that Kat knows it.
Yeah, no, I don't.
It seems like they're both dancing around some kind of familiarity that neither one of them necessarily understands.
But I feel like with that, and I'm glad you brought that up, Araceli, there has to still be a story there. It can't just be like she recognizes Sammy because they bumped into each other in the rehab cafeteria. You know what I mean? I feel like, is it now that she's investigating him, is it going to be revealed like she liked him in the facility and now that makes a you know what I mean? Like there has to be a story there. It can't just be like, I saw your daughter, your daughter and I, shared a cup of coffee 5 years ago when my face was bandaged and she was there, visiting EJ. Like, I feel like there has to be a story there. So I'm wondering if they have a past together that is at least somewhat favorable to EJ, that's going to make Kat maybe question what she's doing to him. I'm just throwing that out there.
Sammy's coming back again, right? They said she came back for that one episode, but then she's coming back again.
Yeah,
so it'll be interesting to see if there is a Sammy Kat interaction when she comes back again, and what that interaction is going to be.
Yeah, I'm curious. I feel like there's got to be a bigger story other than just a coincidence. Maybe they were at the same rehab place or rehabilitation facility or something. There's got to be a little bit more than that.
It's got to be more than they had lunch together.
I know, it can't be just like, oh, Sammy, how are you? I met you 7 years ago or something, or face looks great or something, whatever. Like, it's gonna be a little bit of a story there. What do we think of the Chad Thomas conversation where Thomas let it slip or intentionally told him?
Well, look, on the one hand,
I forgot with this I think I've lost attention during this conversation of theirs.
Thomas was asking Chad about Kat, and because he overheard Jack and Jennifer saying they were
talking shit about her. Keeping an eye on her. That's right. Okay, now
he was kind of confused. Like, why would they want to keep an eye on her?
Right. Yeah. And so then he explained to Thomas that she did something or told a lie, and that
Thomas does not know.
Yeah.
Look, nor does he need to know. He's a little boy. He doesn't need to know the goings on of adults. I hate when people think that you have to. The kids have to share the same opinions as the adults, so they have to tell little kids things that their little kid ears don't need to know yet. No, he doesn't need to know the full extent of it. Chad handled it very well. I do think it is way past time for Chad to have a conversation with Jack and Jennifer, because now not only are they trying to impose their opinions on Chad, they are not watching their P's and Q's when little ears could be listening.
Yeah.
And Chad needs to put his foot down and say, these are my kids. I do not want your opinions, whether I agree with them or not, influencing theirs and how they grow up and their comfortability. That's not okay.
Yeah, part of me actually thinks that the Thomas stuff may have been intentional, not from Chad, but from a storyline perspective. 'Cause I feel like maybe that's going to be something in the future. I think him finding out. I feel like they've always made it a point to say Thomas, of course, is the oldest, but he's like very smart and very astute and very. So I feel like that reveal that she was pretending to be his dead mother, I think, is going to be an issue. Maybe an issue for Chat and Kat in their relationship, or an issue of Thomas not liking her, or an issue, or God forbid that Jack and Jennifer use that to their advantage regarding the kids. I don't know. I'd like to say they wouldn't do that, but who knows the way they've been acting lately and wanting to sort of keep her away from their grandchildren, which they've seemed to have made a point of that they want to do. So, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Was that it with them? Are we?
Yeah.
Any other revelation? Kat and EJ.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Now we see like we're getting a little bit of EJ, like his image being a little bit reformed, just a little. I'm just thinking of, and I probably should have put Sarah in here too, with Sarah coming up to them and thanking him about the clinic.
The free
like that's coming around. That is getting out. That word is getting out, even though he hasn't like officially announced it. But
yeah, the Tom Horton free clinic.
Yeah, and she's showing her appreciation, and which I thought was nice. Like even though we know he's up to something bad, like from her perspective, if it's true, then give him his props and tell him good job. And
who was down? Was it Kayla that was like, she was the one that was being Kayla. Like, oh, I'm absolutely thrilled that we're getting this. It's something that's needed for the community. But when EJ's involved, you just kind of have to you just sit around waiting for the other shoe to drop about what his real intentions are. So yeah.
And yeah, seems she's right. We know him and Gwen are up to something. We still don't know what that is. I don't know. I'm hoping for an interesting twist on this storyline. I'm trying to imagine what it could be that would be mutually beneficial for both of these people to go into business together when there's been no previous relationship. There's, their goals have never aligned, so to speak. So I'm curious what would bring these two together into some sort of plan, or what EJ promised Gwen in exchange for her money in order to get her on board, So I'm curious. I'm intrigued about this one too. But yeah, on to our last sort of tidbit for the day. This one is
money.
Wait,
money. What? And that's just like money. That's all. We're hoping it's something a little more elaborate than that. But
because she's the one. I mean, he has money too, but it seems like she's the one who's sort of rolling in.
She seems to have the billions and billions of bond money.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
It could also be one of those actors we were talking about, like the Northrop dude. Like maybe he's playing a recasted. What's his face?
Dimitri.
Dimitri.
Oh, maybe Yeah, we'll find out. I think he comes on October, November. We should see him pop up. Yeah. On to our last tidbit. This one is cool adoptive parents. This is Javi, Leo, Chanel, and Paulina.
The irony.
Yeah.
The irony that this is the same baby they're gonna adopt originally.
Oh.
They just don't know it.
Yeah. I was watching this conversation very, very, very closely because I wanted to see, truth be told, I really wanted to make sure that Chanel's intentions going into this were pure. Not that, because if there's one thing that's a giant, blinking, huge siren light in my head is when somebody goes after a baby as if it's an object or as if they have a right to or entitled to it, as if it's not its own person. So I was watching this conversation very carefully, and I came away a little bit more at ease with the idea of at least Chanel being a mother. But again, damn it if Leo didn't bring up some good points about Johnny.
Yeah, you want to root for the guy, but at the same time, like the way he's been through the past year, and then the way he waffled the last time, it's a red flag, unfortunately for him. And now he's burning the candle at both ends, working at Demira and working at the school. I guess that may not be as big a red flag as the other stuff, but yeah.
I thought it was interesting they went there because I was like, okay, Leo. It was sort of, I don't know. I think also part of it came off the we're disqualified, so let's take some power back in this. I don't know if I necessarily agreed with everything you said about Johnny, or more so that those are things to disqualify him from being a good father.
I don't think that they're I don't think they're disqualifications, but I think that the way Leo phrased it as like it's concerning. It doesn't disqualify him altogether from being a father, but the fact that he wants to dive into parenthood right now so fast, again, after the year he's just had, and after he already did a 180 on one adoption with the same baby he doesn't know is the same baby.
I just thought it was a bit ironic to have Leo make that. I mean, listen, I think Johnny could easily say the same thing about Leo and much worse.
But here's the thing. While Leo, as much as Leo and Javi love Tesoro, I think that I like that they're not going all in on like, oh, we want to adopt this kid. They are taking a step back and kind of acknowledging that as much as we love this kid, we're probably not ready for this step. That may change, or they might be waffling on that a little bit, but they're not like out and out saying that they're ready for the commitment.
I find that that's more circumstantial than it seemed to me like it was like we hit a roadblock and we're stuck, more so than them coming to a realization that they're not ready. I think if they didn't think their past was going to be used against them, I think they would be submitting an application just like Chanel and everyone else. Now that I don't, like I said, I don't mind it. I like them still being involved in it. I think it's nice to have if they are taking themselves out of the running, because the reality is they could still apply. They may or may not be rejected. Like, you know, they're part of me surprised that I thought their reaction was going to be, you know what, let's throw our hat in the ring, especially if Leo is saying all these things about Johnny. It's like, okay, well, if you feel that way and you feel strongly about that, then you know, put in your stuff too. I mean, you know, put your stuff up against his then, and let's see. But I don't know. Like I said, I like the fact that they're involved in it, at least if they're taking a step back. To me, it's forced, but if they're taking a step back because they have to, like, I don't know. I like them wavering in opinion. I just don't know if it's as sound as they think it is.
Yeah.
I think it's valid enough to be voiced. It may not have any bearing on the final decision. It may not need to, but it's valid to be brought up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I mean, Chanel brought it up, and her mama brought it up. Paulina brought up, like, you know, is Johnny ready?
Yeah.
You know, if all of these other people are asking the same question, then yeah, we need to know.
Mm-hmm. But also, like, the idea, like they brought up, at least, like, if it goes to them, then at least it's someone we know, people who are in our proximity. We could possibly visit with the baby. Like, there's some benefits to Johnny and Chanel getting the baby, even if, I don't know, even if he has reservations about where Johnny is at, then there's still some benefits to them.
Yeah.
Over random, you know, adopt parents.
Yeah, the chat is wondering. People in the chat are wondering if Rafe can adopt him. So Rafe is actually technically the foster parent on record. I don't think that Rafe should put. Look, Rafe is already more overly involved in other people's kids than he needs to be. And we've always said that Rafe would make an excellent father, but the problem is that I think if and when Rafe becomes a father, it needs to stick.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, we've had enough of Rafe constantly raising and advising other people's children and or getting the chance at fatherhood and having it snatched away. If and when they commit to making Rafe a father, they need to actually 100% commit to it.
Yeah.
Agree.
I also don't think Rafe has, outside of him like having, he cares about the baby, of course, it's living in his house and all that kind of stuff, but they haven't shown us any sort of significant connection that he's thinking about being a single dad again.
Yeah, no.
And sad to say, no offense, but he probably wouldn't get to Sora over.
No. Yeah, no.
That's the way it is, unfortunately. But
being the registered foster parent when he has a house full of people that are able and willing to help care for the baby is way different than actually being the parent of record.
Yeah.
Someone mentioned like if this baby actually isn't Tate's and another father comes along, or the actual father comes along, then that'll add another wrench to it.
Yeah.
A girl can
I
dream.
Hope not. I hope it's just, honestly, I feel like if it's another man's, then we're starting all over again. I doubt this other man is going to freely walk in and be like, Sophia, yay, you did the right thing. You know what I mean? I feel like it's just going to be another fight. I'd rather stick with the devil we know or the the trouble we know than someone else. I know people are still hoping it's Aaron's baby. I don't see that even as a possibility at this point. Again, they could always. Some people were like, "Oh, maybe online, maybe they slept together and don't remember it." I'm like, okay, I don't know about that. Like that seems.
They've done that before.
I mean, they have, but I don't know. I don't think for this age group, I don't think that makes as much sense.
Let me phrase this as diplomatically as I can. If Aaron got some, he would remember it.
Burn.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
I'm gonna put this diplomat, specifically if he got some from Sophia.
But wait, have you seen that man? Have you seen that man without a shirt on?
No. This is not. This is. Trust me. This is nothing against the actor. This is nothing against the actor.
Mm-hmm.
I think Aaron could pull. Like
I'm talking specifically about Aaron's personality.
Yeah, she's saying he would remember sleeping with a woman.
Yes.
Like, the way
I thought you were insinuating that he would remember it because it doesn't happen often.
No, I'm insinuating that specifically Aaron, the character, his frame of mind, his goofy self, his personality would remember if he had sex with the girl he had a crush on.
I thought you were insinuating he would remember because it doesn't happen that often. Like, or he couldn't like.
It probably doesn't.
That's probably also true. Again, for the character, not talking about the actor. Very much not.
Well, no, I'm talking about the character too. I believe Aaron could pull. Aaron could pull some.
I think he could. He just doesn't.
I think they presented him as someone who's awkward with girls and is probably a virgin. I think that's what they've shown us he is.
That's furthering my point. Yes.
Yeah, so I agree. I think if he had sex with someone who he had a crush on in high school, it would be at the forefront of his mind.
He would not be focusing on video games at that point.
Yeah. Now, I do think that probably was a potential strong storyline that they probably nixed. I just think that since, in my opinion, they've nixed it, it hasn't come up again, and it probably won't. I probably was something that they were gonna go down that avenue and decided not to for some reason. But
Yeah,
but
was
yeah,
a
I don't think
possibility
it's
at one point.
Aaron's. Yeah. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of the Chanel asking Paulina for, favoritism or recommendation, or do you think that's a big deal? I personally,
No.
I don't care about nepotism. I honestly
No, I don't think it's a big deal at all. I think anyone that's in the town right now would do the same thing if their parents, mom or dad, had that influence.
Yeah, and she's not asking the way that she asked it. She's basically not asking her for anything more than a letter of recommendation.
Yeah, well,
just knowing that the whole yeah, but just knowing that behind sincerely Paulina Price, mayor of Salem, would be added to the end line.
Exactly. I think asking. Well, I mean, listen. I think it's with the real world. You can't deny asking for it is the guarantee. Do you know what I mean? Like the expectation isn't your mother, the mayor, is just gonna write a silly note. The expectation is that she writes the note and you get the baby. I think that. Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I don't care about nepotism. I only care if I think the person is undeserving. So if I thought like Chanel was, undeserving of a child, I feel differently about it. But at this point, it's like you sort of use your advantage, and this is a little bit of an ace in the hole for them. So why not?
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with it.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. But yeah, that kind of concludes our week of days. Before we go on, we did Tidbits. I guess we go move on to our segments now. Of course, Tony is out this week, so we do not have a 3 snaps, but we do have a
Caption That.
This week's Caption That photo comes courtesy of Alex and the ever gifable Stephanie Johnson, aka Abigail Klein, with her shocked face. I can't remember what he had said, but he had said something that she didn't like. And this week's caption goes to our friend Brianne Yu, aka Telfer Mania, with her caption: "The last time you changed your seats was with her caption, "The last time you changed your sheets was how long ago?" Because I bet those sheets are rank in that straight man's apartment. He just doesn't seem like someone that likes to change his sheets. Anyway, I laughed out loud. So,
and that was
Caption That.
And on to our next segment.
Those were the days.
Alrighty, one for this one, I am taking you back to September 15th, 2014, when Abigail sees Chad for the first time since his return to Salem. Of course, this marked the introduction of Billy Flynn when he took over the role of Chad Demira here. So this is them seeing each other. And of course, this was Kate Manzi at the time playing Abigail. And after the show, go check out my Those Were Days Extended. I go into a brief little history of Chad and Abigail. Little bit of their getting together back when Casey Diedrich and Kate Manzi came on the show. And then a lot of sort of obstacles in their way. I go into Gabby a lot. I go into Cameron Davis a lot. I sort of like those years. And just kind of a walk down memory lane with this two couple. And I give my opinion on whether or not I think this couple has a future or not, because I don't think she's actually dead. But that was September 15, 2014, when Abigail sees Chad for the first time.
Those were the days.
And now it's time for
It's a gift.
This week's It's a Gift goes to the tag team brother duo of Xander and Philip. As Xander tries to keep his cool and Philip is bracing for impact. Now picture the phone. Now see the phone and picture a chancla. And that was how I saw this scene.
The therapy is working. It's working. It's working.
Put down the chancla. Nobody gets hurt.
And that was.
It's a gift.
And on to our next.
News and gossip.
Yeah, starting off news and gossip, we have some very, very sad news to report. Brad Everett Young has passed away. He was a celebrity photographer. I know a lot of you guys in the chat and you guys watching may have met Brad at various events, soap events over the years, but unfortunately he was killed in a car accident actually last Sunday night. A lot of us know Brad at soap community as the go-to photographer. You've had outings with him. He's been at a lot of these events that you guys go to as a resident photographer. He's photographed almost all of your favorite soap stars and many, many big name celebrities. Yeah, he even covered our big 7th anniversary we did, a partnership we did with Spectrum Celebrity Events. So if you were at that one, you'll remember Brad from there as well. Just really, really tragic. I remember when we got sort of the notice that he was killed. It was, really sort of shocking. And he was only 46 years old. But just really dedicated his life not only to photography, but he was very very involved in a lot of charity work and working with children and things like that. So he just leaves behind a really great legacy. I think over the past week, you've seen a lot of soap stars comment on their experience with working with him as a photographer. Their experiences with him. Jen Lilly was very good friends with him. She posted a lot and just made me think of, hopefully not too soon to say, but I hope that something is done with his photography. He's been doing it for so long, has so many pictures. I hope that in the near future, we get some sort of celebration of his photography where we can see it. Because he is so much sort of in the back burner, I'm sure on hard drives and just everywhere, that I think would be really, really great to see and sort of memorialize him in that way. But yeah, I was even thinking of our pictures. I don't even know if we have a copy of the ones he took at the celebration. Yeah,
the guys probably do. The guys probably the guys, by the guys I mean Scott and
Carson.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe they do. Yeah. I was just thinking that this week. I was like, oh, I wish, because I was thinking it too. I was like, oh, I wish. I don't even know if we have ones that we could put up. But yeah, if you've seen your soap stars get photographed, it was probably at one point or another by Brad.
Yeah.
And he would just be really missed. Yeah, really, really tragic event. I noticed before I came on, there is a GoFundMe set up to help cover his funeral costs. I can't point to exactly the link, but I know a lot of the celebs are sharing it. I know Mike Manning's been sharing it. I'm sure a lot of other ones are sharing it. So if you're interested in donating, sort of kind of go to any one of those, and I'm sure you can find the link. But yeah, like I said, hope in the future we see some sort of either memorial to him or celebration of his photography that people can get to see, just because he was really great and very popular, and the tributes have sort of been pouring in over the week. So go check.
He's just close knit with almost everyone in the soap world. So he will be very, 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 very missed. It's really shocking.
Yeah. And continuing with condolences, this one, we got word that Barbie Hart, who passed away this week as well, he was, you may not know him, he was a sort of legendary Oscar-nominated songwriter, but one thing you do know him from is he actually co-wrote Day's theme. He was a big sort of, not just jingle writer, but songwriter. A lot of, if you guys remember the Monkees, a lot of that was his songwriting with his partner. He was sort of took the credit, or is responsible for a lot of that fame, which ironically started out as sort of a comment. If you don't know the Monkees, it's sort of a commentary on boy bands who they themselves became a boy band and became popular and had a variety show. It was sort of this, weird take on the Beatles kind of a thing, and then ended up sort of being its own entity, and Bobby and his partner were responsible for a lot of that. But of course, like I said, we know him more as the co-writer of the Days theme, and his legacy would definitely cemented with Days fans. And as we find ourselves humming the intro every time it comes on. So rest in peace to Bobby Hart there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Next up, on our day's Peacock page, who in Salem do you think would make for a good roommate for your character? That is the question that the Salemites answer, and they give their answers as well as their best reasons why. So you can go to the day's Peacock social media page to see their answers. Also big on social media, Sal Stowers has started a new series of interviews titled Women to Women, where Sal asks women to share advice to young girls and other women. A lot of the day's ladies have participated. Jack A. Harry, of course, Martha Madison, Anna Lynn McCord, Stacey Hyduke, Ilya Cantu, Emily O'Brien, Mary Beth Evans, etc. So you can see the full series if you follow at Sal Stowers on TikTok. And I believe that she has a series up on her Instagram as well in her highlight reel. So go check that out now. And some happy birthdays to Miss Allison Sweeney, our Sammy Brady. She celebrated her birthday this past week and got a surprise visit from her husband and daughter on set for her big day. She got lots of love on set. So happy birthday, Allison Sweeney.
Next up, we have some Emmy news. We got the Golden Circle honorees have actually been named for this year's Daytime Emmys. This is when the Daytime Emmys honors those that have distinguished service in the daytime television community. First, we have Jane Elliott is this year's Gold Circle inductee. Of course, she is best known as Tracy Quartermain on GH, but of course, she has a day's history as Angelica Devereaux, who's Leo's mom, now played by Judith Chapman. But one of the original Angelicas was Jane Elliott back in the 80s. So yeah, she will big, very, 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 very well deserved. She is our Gold Circle honoree. And then one of our Silver Circle nominees is our friend of the show, just one of the sweetest guys, Mr. James Reynolds. And of course, has been playing Abe Carver since 1981 and so deserving of this. So yeah, we will actually see those, see Jane Elliott and James Reynolds, among many others, be honored. If you remember last year, Suzanne Rogers was one of the Gold Circle, the Silver Circle inductees. So yeah, this year it'll be James and then Jane Elliott with the Gold Circle. So yeah, can't wait to see sort of their tributes on stage. So also, the Emmys this year are doing something very different. If you happen to be in town, they are offering a limited number of tickets. I haven't checked today, so I don't know if they are all gone, but they were up at least a couple of days ago. They are, again, limited number of tickets to this year's ceremony. So for the first time, you can get a ticket to the Emmys for roughly $75 through Ticketmaster. So those of you who will be in town or are in town and local, you can, go and purchase a ticket to attend the Daytime Emmys. And for
not the Eras tour, but it, probably easier to get tickets to this and cheaper than
I'm sure. Yeah.
Yes. All right, next up, Lori Beth is going to be having 2 exclusive events for those of you who want to get some one-on-one time with the stars of Days of Our Lives. So November, the first event is going to be held on November 7th. This is going to be the Men of Hollywood cocktail and dinner party. It'll be hosted here in West Hollywood, and you can see the stars right there, including Brandon Beaver and Eric Martzoff and company. And then the next day, on November 8th, is going to be the garden party with the Ladies of Days. And for ticket inquiries, you can go to Lori Matrix at yahoo.com. This is contact Lori Beth for tickets and information. And if you choose to attend, just know you will also be benefiting the Tunnel and Towers Foundation, which supports first responders and their military families. So if you want some one-on-one time, this is pretty exclusive time, guys. Go ahead and get your tickets now.
Yeah, and last but not least, the day players are added again. They have added even more new
day
gigs.
Players.
Yeah.
Day players.
Had to do it. Sorry.
More new gigs for 2026. This time for the month of March. They've added shows in Levittown, New Brunswick, and New Jersey, as well as Boston. And of course, they have the rest of the year's dates in Cedar Rapids, Des Moines, Omaha, Kansas City, Naperville, Brookfield, and Batavia through October. So all tickets and info, you can go to thedayplayersband.com. Yeah, they are just they're on this endless tour. Just keep on going.
Their own little Eras tour.
Their own Eras tour.
It's been going on just as long as the Eras tour did.
Right. I know.
Longer, probably.
Good for them. Yeah.
Like 3 years now, I think they. When did we first go? Like 3 years ago?
I know, it was a while ago. Yeah.
2022, I think. So yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, congrats to them. Oh, and by the way, so ticket price for the daytime Emmys is $75 plus service fee. So it's
faster.
Oh wait,
so it's 180. You're saying?
it's like just under $100.
Okay.
And but that doesn't include tax. You have to pay sales tax. I don't know. I can't remember if you have to put sales tax on tickets or not. But it'll be around $100.
Yeah, which is not bad.
Yeah, for a night out at the Emmys, that's not bad. Yeah.
Yeah. We don't run Ticketmaster, so don't ask us.
Yeah. All right, everyone. That was before we sign off, we have.
Oh, I was doing the outro.
Oh.
News and gossip.
And now, everyone, here's a preview of next week's Days of Our Lives.
What happened? What's happening? So the power comes back on? Looks like we're all stuck here.
We might as well bring her in the loop. The whole world's gonna find out sooner or later.
You and I are gonna have to figure out a new place to meet.
We could just stay here.
Hello? Is someone there? You can hang here until the power comes back.
This couldn't have worked out better if I planned it myself.
Oh,
I'm excited
dear.
and nervous for next week.
Well, things are definitely going to happen. That's for sure.
Yeah. I like when we get like a little bit of an umbrella storyline that kind of links everyone. Yeah.
I wonder, like, usually a blackout, the traditional setup for a blackout is usually over the summer, and it's like it's hot in Salem. We didn't get that.
It's still hot.
I know.
Well, it's so hot here. In Salem, USA, it may be a nice balmy 65 degrees. We don't know.
Based on my friends that are in the Midwest, I don't think so.
Salem isn't real, Araceli. It can be.
Balmy is not the word that they're using right now.
I'd say balmy.
Balmy
is warm.
Okay, yeah.
Did I say balmy? Maybe I did.
Yes,
say
you
did. Yeah, you did.
Okay, yes.
Oh,
It's definitely not
balmy
cool.
65 degrees. I did say.
It's not cool.
It's a crisp 65 degrees, not a balmy.
It's not. Yeah, there's nothing crisp going on anywhere right now. I'll say that.
There's going on right now. Except Alex's sheets, apparently.
Oh my God.
On that note,
where can we find everyone? Michael, where can we find you?
I mean, my crispy sheets? No. You can find me on Instagram. Not crispy. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at MLMattis and at MLMImagesLA. Justin, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Justin Lee Harold. Araceli.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Tia323 Araceli.
And you can find Tony everywhere at Lounging with Tony. And you can find all of us on Dishin Days Show on Facebook, at Dishin Days on Instagram, and Dishin Days on X and Threads. Thanks, everyone. This was our show for this week. And be sure to check us out next week where we give you a full recap of the Days of Our Lives. Thanks, everyone. Take care.
Bye.
See you next week.
Bye. See you next week.
Bye.